Hello, welcome back to Minecraft. I'm once again playing Piracy because we're building. For now. I mean, yeah. Yay. Currently trying to get my XP to go up higher so I can start working on making some better armor, but it's gonna take a while because I have no real way to improve my XP minus mining. Um I suppose I could go over to one of the villager farms and see if they've got any deals I can work with, and breeding of animals, which is gonna take up. My god, that's a traitorous brown mushroom. You're not meant to be in there. What did one of you guys give birth? That is uh there's two. That brown cow clipped in from this side. Hmm. Either way, it won't be there for long. But what I thought I'd add to this side is obviously this entire thing's very stony because that's how I built it. But I feel like I need some more green areas. Like I've added a couple of patches like here and here, and I plan to add one down there. Not that you can see that because that was underneath the thing. But I feel like a little. Oh, obviously all that's green. I feel like an orchard here, connected to the farm, would be cool. So what I was thinking is if I got rid of like this bit here. Don't think I've got any. I do. Turn that way, and then connect it to the orchard. So we'll go through here. I'll add like a gate access when I decide paths around here. I think that might be cool. Let's go with the sign. But first I'm gonna dig up this entire area um, from where the redstone torches are, and we will look to see how much dirt I have enough. So most of this is just gonna go in the water. So whilst getting ready to set up, I was listening to an r/slash video because that's what I do when I'm doing stuff like this. Oh wait, no, not that bit. That's another thing. And it's just one about restaurant and goes downhill because owners, yeah. Either way, and it was just talking about how the health board found out it was pretty much disgusting. And it got me thinking, like, if you went to a restaurant and the food was amazing, which I've been to many restaurants, I'm one of these people that, though I don't eat out a lot, I tend to eat out a lot in the same. When I'm on holiday, I eat out a lot. And that can be anywhere between 14 days to 10 days of just eating out. If I knew the place looked disgusting, we have been to a couple of places where you've gone, but the food was good. Would you be happy? So, a couple of years back, we went to a Tobury Carvery style place. In fact, I think it may have actually been Tobury Carvery. I can't remember. Um, before everyone starts panicking, as long as your Tobury Carvery isn't near a canal, and I don't know which one we were on, so. But it was also a couple of years ago, so good chance it's all changed up now. Because it was pre COVID. And the restaurant itself looked okay. It's one of those types of family restaurants, you know, they're never going to be perfect. But it looked okay, no alarming things. But the bathrooms were absolutely disgusting. As a woman, um, sorry guys about this, you have to use sanitary bins on the occasion. Usually they're kept relatively clean, but the build up on the inside, like just the amount of build up from the amount of use it's got. Once again, I'm very sorry, gentlemen. Um, it was absolutely disgusting. And after you saw that, you start noticing all the other things that they definitely aren't doing. Yeah, it's just one of the times you're going, if they can't be bothered to just like rinse this out of water once a year or something. It looked horrible. And I think I went after I've had my meal, which is always good. But it gets you thinking. You can usually tell a lot about establishment about how the bathroom is. Like, don't get me wrong, some places you're going to be near impossible to keep the bathrooms perfectly tidy, clean, whatever. But if there's not the bare minimum put in, it's a bit weird. Like, go to many places, because a lot of the places I'm going to are like old pubs. Squid. um, they've got carpeted bathrooms, which is sort of fine. Like, not around the toilet. The cubicles just tend to not be carpeted, but the rest of the bathrooms are like really carpeted. And a couple of them have been like nice plush carpets. A couple of them are like ones that have been there for since the establishment was probably made in 1800s. That type of type. And it didn't really bother me. But then you think about it and you go out to the restaurant. The restaurant looks nice and clear. But that's the bit that everyone's going to see. So everyone who goes in that restaurant is going to see the restaurant, obviously. But not everyone's going to see the bathrooms. Obviously, I've only saw the females because not exactly going to be walking to the male bathroom. I have no reason to. So once again, this is all the stuff that anyone can go see just about. What do the kitchens look like? What do the places? I've probably about put off so many people off eating out. But you have to wonder that they can't put effort into the places that you can see. What does it say about the places you can't see? Now, don't get me wrong, there's probably some places that they don't put as much thought into cleaning of the bathrooms and stuff because, let's face it, they're there for one thing as long as they're sanitary enough. And they'd prefer to put the additional effort into cleaning the kitchens. That's why I like restaurants with like an open kitchen. Not only because it smells fantastic, but also you know what's going on. I think I may have just put myself off eating in a restaurant. Like, at the end of the day, I was a student, so I've eaten food from like one food health thing rating, barely selling stuff that you can consider edible, that those types of places. I've eaten at loads of those places. It didn't totally bother me. I mean, I have quite a strong gut. My constitution is relatively high. So, but at the same time, it's always something to be concerned about. When you go back to the question, would you eat at a place if you knew the food was really good and but the place looked horrible? I probably would. That was not intentional. Because let's face it, I'm only human. I am disgusted by things quite easily. But also, you can my heart does lead to my stomach and all that. You could win me over with good food. I suppose it's all to do with people's comfort levels. And say as a student, I'm quite used to eating like absolutely terrible food. Those people who eat street food probably can't judge much because you are buying food from a van, and even the cleanest van is not the cleanest van. So you can't make an accurate judgment there. That's like something that annoyed me eating out the other day. So I went to a restaurant the other day. Once again, I live in the UK. So fun fact, those of you who live in America and some other countries, I'm not really sure, but especially America, tipping is not a huge thing over here. We pay our workers a minimum wage and they get their minimum wage. There's no, oh, we can cut some costs if we just pay tip. That's pretty much illegal over here. Um, but you can leave a tip if you want. Like, on the occasion, especially if there's a big group of us, we may leave a couple of quid per person as a way to say sorry for bringing such a big, large group. You did really well keeping up, that type of thing. And also if the food is like amazing or the service, someone out their way for service. Like, I went to a place and no fault of their own. We were a large group. they had another even larger group than we were because there was a birthday celebration. And because of it, we were probably sat for 20 minutes waiting for our bill. They gave us a free bottle of wine to say sorry, and we still left them a tip. Because the food was good, it was just very bad timing. We didn't even blame them for it. We're quite happy at that point. But at the same time, we've been to places where they've given the menu, they've gone, oh, we don't have this, this, and this. And then you order, and they'll be like, oh, we don't have that either. And you're stuck trying to come up with the food you want from like 6 available choices, and they're not anything you would actually eat. I mean, I still remember one place we went, one of the people said, oh yeah, we've like never ever served one of those. And we don't even know what's on the menu. And I'm pretty sure the last time I went, I saw someone order it. That was a hellish and stressful time for me because I don't like dealing with people. What was the point? What was the original point? But yeah, anyway, so there's not huge tipping. Went to a place recently with my sisters, so it's just the three of us. We'll come back from a trip, so we're just grabbing some food on the way home. Sat down. Food was good. I mean, I've had better, but like it was pretty decent. It was different. I have no complaints about it, minus the meat was not much meat. They could have really given me more meat, but I really like meat, so I can't actually complain. Well, I can't. I just have. And I get the bill because I was paying. Makes life easier. When we eat out, one of us will usually pay, and then the others will pay back later. So in the case of this, one of my sisters had brought the train tickets, which I don't do well on public transport. I really don't do well on public transport, turns out. But if we learn from that trip. Um, anyway, she brought the train tickets. My other sister brought as a meal whilst we were on the trip, so I brought us a meal on the way home. All's fair. And I get the original bill. And the other thing is, I'm very British. I complain. Oh, one of you died. Terrible. Anyway, I'm very British. I don't. Oh, more of you died. Maybe I need to get rid of the rails. So I didn't really want to complain about it. And I got my receipt, and at the very bottom, it was they added on a optional charge of like 12% or something. I only came up to about £12. No, that 12%, that mean I spent £100, which I didn't. I don't know. It was enough. It was the amount of money just to be a bit too cheeky. And it went, oh, if you don't want to do this, feel free to ask to have it removed. I'm going, well, I'm not asking to have it removed because that feels wrong. I am hopelessly British. I'll just complain to my sisters about it. Which, considering where we were is a student town, the idea of them adding on a extra thing for their own convenience, it's a bit cheeky. Like, I get it, don't get me wrong, in some cultures, it's very important to remember to tip. They judge you otherwise. And if that was the case, I would very much be happy, but I'm British, I live in the UK, I shouldn't be forced to tip if I don't want to. I don't have the option. And to be fair, on that time, I don't think I would have, like normally, because it was three of us. They were relatively empty and quiet. It was lunchtime, and like the food was okay. No one went out their way though. There's nothing that made me go, oh yeah, I'd totally leave a big tip. Maybe I've left £2, £3 on the table for them, which is much more than no, much less than what the compulsory, not so compulsory tip is. But I know why they've done it, because most of us are British and we wouldn't argue about it because, like, we prefer to grumble about it afterwards rather than deal with it at the time. And like I said, it's fine. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys will disagree just because you have a culture where tipping is needed. I don't think tipping should ever be needed. I think it really should be an optional thing. But obviously, due to how laws and whatever work, it's just how it is. Yeah, feel free to tell me I'm a horrible person because I don't didn't want to tip in that situation. I don't care. Once again, I'm sure many of you will be absolutely outraged. How dare I not want to tip? I say, if I had a true issue with it, I think I would have said something. I say it was quiet. I didn't want to cause a fuss. I was tired. Like the trip, I'd had to go on trains twice, and I was socially worn out. I just wanted to go home after having something to eat. That was the plan. It it wasn't worth it. That'd be once again the food was good, just because I wouldn't have tipped in that situation. So my idea of tipping, if I haven't explained it well enough, I'm pretty sure I have, is if someone does something which is way out of what you expect them to do. So someone's my waiter, I expect them to bring me my food, take my order, bring me my food, give me my bill. It's very simple. That's the job. That's the job as a waiter or waitress. Now, if there was something like, "Oh, we're so sorry, the kitchen's made a mistake," um, and well, not so much that to be fair, because that's not. Trying to think, like when it happens, but if you think about it, you can't always remember. Oh, there was a time that I went to a place on my own. Now they were like really busy, and I was just asking for a quick table of one. I'm sure they had to like cram me into a like the most cornered off area. Was basically the oh, if we hide you here, it'll be fine type corner. I gave them a tip that day because they could have turned around and be like, oh, we're so sorry, we can't accommodate you this evening. Went to a place where the food was absolutely amazing, and servers were really polite, constantly topping up stuff. That was a good time. Give them a tip. I can't think. I say once again when we're in big groups, like to me, a big group is any more than 4 people. Well, like my family's 5, so it's really any more than 5 people. But so anytime you do that, I mean, when they can squeeze you in, when you know you're being, when, when you know you're definitely really pushing it for ordering, like they'll say last orders is at whatever time, and you just sneakily get your order in 10 minutes before the kitchen closes. That's definitely birth to because over here most places I've been to, um, money tends to be pulled back and like just divided out amongst everyone rather than a specific server getting the money because once again it's not their paycheck. They get paid. I say most. I know some places do that. I never worked as a waitress. I worked as a pot washer, and I did get part of the tips from that. Like I did get a small amount than everyone else, as I was only there for a couple of weekends. But yeah, it's just weird. Tipping culture doesn't work for me. Then again, I say that, and yet I am the type of person who, if there is a charity pot, will put in like the last a couple of pence that I've got spit left over. Well, there's this little orchard. Do from now. I was gonna add like a path going through it, but once I know where this is gonna exit out on, it'll probably be this side because this is one of the paths I've set up. I could change the mind. The path could end up crossing earlier, going around. I don't know. I haven't even decided how I'm actually doing these paths. I'm kind of thinking maybe using like stone steps and slabs, like make it an indent type path. If I don't know if that looked too gutterish. But either way, that's my orchard. They're my poorly described topic and why I don't like tipping and why I was felt really awkward because they automatically put it on my calendar on my bill. And yeah, this is Missy signing off. Goodbye.